Hi there, Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel. And today is my not doing Rachel's weekly challenge day. I've decided to give it a miss this week. I've been wanting to do other videos, but it's really hard to fit in them in when I'm already uploading 3 a week because I'm just so busy at the moment. During the week I can only do videos at the weekend. Next week is just crazy busy. So I thought, well, because I wasn't really feeling it with the challenge this week. I mean, most of the time I really love them and I really enjoy them. But sorry, Rachel, this one's not for me. So I thought I'd do something a bit different. I've been doing a bit of buying of bits and pieces here and there over the last couple of weeks. I've got a bit crazy, and I've actually acquired a few things rather unexpectedly. So I thought I'd just show you what I've got, what I've been buying, and and then I thought we'd make something with some of it. So that's the plan for today. So I thought I'd just start. I mentioned when I was doing the toppers that I'd ordered some more lace, and it has finally arrived. Took quite a while to come, but it is really beautiful. This is from an Etsy called Plum Boutique, and I mean, these are really lovely, and they've just sent them on this nice card, so it's easy to see what I've got. If you can see those, they're really pretty. There's this one, that's gorgeous, I love that. And then there's this piece. They gradually get bigger. This is a lovely one. I think that'd be lovely on a spine. And again, this one, this is like it's very similar to the one I bought from the other shop. Where have I put it? It was here, and now it's disappeared. Oh, I know. I'll just reach it across. It's very similar to this one that I've been using quite a bit lately, and I thought I was getting worried I was going to run out, but this is not that dissimilar, and it's got butterflies on it. Look, isn't that pretty? Can you see? It's got little butterflies on it. So pretty. So yeah, I'm good for lace for a little while, at least for this kind of lace. You know, the strips that we love to use, or I love to use. So I'm just going to put that over there with my other lace. And then what else? Well, I went to my craft club on Wednesday, as I do. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, somebody donated a whole load of fabric and lace and all sorts of bits and pieces. And I bought that fabric, the one I've used for my spring journal cover, which you may not have seen yet, but you've seen the material, just haven't seen me make it, but that's coming. And the one I use with the music on it. Anyway, this week, somebody else had brought in some fabrics, and they were just asking for a £1 donation. I mean, these were huge pieces, and in fact, I ended up cutting pieces down because I couldn't possibly take. They were whole curtains, but I did get a nice little haul. I didn't go too mad because that just would have been silly. But if you remember, I've been talking about some fabric that I've had for a long while. It's actually, I've got a scrap of it here. This piece of fabric that I've used loads, and it's that lovely coral pinky colour. And then this turned up, which is very similar. And I was just, saying I was quite low on it. I was getting quite low because I'd used it so much. And then blow me, this massive piece comes in. It's cost me £1. I mean, I could have taken a small piece of it, but I knew that having used the other one so much, I probably will use this. So I've grabbed the whole piece. And then there was it's the same material, but in this gorgeous blue. Look at this. So that was a lovely piece as well. So I just grabbed the whole piece of that. And then I was thinking, well, this is getting a bit much. I can't keep taking all these big pieces. I mean, there was just so many to choose from. So after that, I said, well, is it okay for me to just cut a piece off? Which they were quite happy for me to do. So I got this piece of gorgeous spring green. And all of these pieces, I think they were curtains, so they're nice quality. So they scream journal covers to me, all of them. So there's this piece. And there was a piece of pink velvet. Isn't that gorgeous? So I don't know if it will go with this one. It might do. I might be able to put those together and have that inside and that outside, or vice versa. I think I'd probably have this on the outside. That might work. Not entirely sure. And then there was this piece that I picked up that just was in there as well. Isn't that sweet? And I just thought, well, this would make a lovely card or pocket. And then there's all these bits, so I thought, well, that could definitely be used. So that was the bits that was on the table. And then there was another lady who'd been sent down to speak to me by somebody one of the ladies who runs it, who I'd been talking to about all, the fabrics and things. And she'd brought in a massive piece of fabric that she wanted to see if anybody wanted. And I said, well, I don't want it all, but I wouldn't mind a piece of it. And it's this. Look at this. Journal cover for sure. I think that's just so lovely. And then I put this with it. And I thought, well, that's match made in heaven. Look at that. That just goes so well with it. So liner, cover, boom. I'm almost thinking I might do a video making up some covers with all these lovely fabrics, because it'd be a shame not to just made them into covers, because once you've got covers, they kind of guide you as to what sort of journal you might make, and maybe that's good, for me. Usually I think of the theme and then I'm looking for the things to make it up. Maybe this would be a nice thing to do. Start with, this would probably make 2 covers. It's a beautiful piece. And yeah, I just love that. So yeah, that was a lovely surprise little haul I got on Wednesday. And then a couple of weeks ago I went into town and I picked this up from the Works, which is a scrapbook paper. I love this paper. I shouldn't really be buying scrapbook paper. I don't really need it, but I could not resist this because it's just the colours. Look at that. Love that one. And then there's some lovely neutrals as well. And there's just some beautiful florals in this. And there's this one as well. And what I like, because when I've bought papers from the Works before, they've always been single-sided, like the Christmas ones have always been single-sided. I didn't even know they did double-sided, but they do. And they're neutral on the other side, which can be really handy if you're making things where you want to journal or something. And they've got these neutral ones. And then this is the same ones again, going the other way. So, and I just love this one. And there's some really, really nice ones with the butterflies. And this lovely damasky one. And so I like this as well. Look at that. That's really nice. And what's on the other side? So that's just got a plain on that side, plain blue. And then the damask. And then there's this one. And this has got to be one of my favourites. This one right at the front here. So yeah, I love these. They're so usable. So I'm thinking we might make a little project with this after I've shown you everything. So then I placed a couple of orders here and there, as you do. So I've had some bits from Amazon. I've got some really pretty little bows. I think they came in 2 packs. So one I've entered into my box, and then this pack is for if I use them up. Because I thought they'd really be good on clusters, just to finish off a cluster, all the different colours. I thought they're a really handy little thing to have, just to pop on a cluster. And I've been punching butterflies like there's no tomorrow, to replenish my supply after Alyssa helped herself to half of them. So that was those. And then I've also placed an order with Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodle. She's recently opened her online shop, or expanded her online shop. So she has her Etsy shop for her digitals, and then she has a shop on her website for physical products. And I've never bought anything from her before, and I just thought I'd have a look. So yeah, I just bought a few things, and they've come really quickly. I only ordered them 2 or 3 days ago. So I ordered a little pack of flowers. And again, we might use those today, if I can find the ones that go with what I'm doing. A few of those. I've ordered a pack of wax seals, because pink was a colour I didn't have many of. So I'll be making a few more of those, I think. So there's some lovely colours in there. She does them in different packs of... So I think she had a green pack as well, and I may go back and get a green pack another time. And I also ordered a couple of things that she'd made, but it came like this. These came obviously as they are in their little bags, but the rest of the order came all wrapped up in this beautiful lace. I just love the lace as much as everything else. Look Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? So that was a little extra sort of to go with the packaging. I mean, that's beautiful. I should be using that. No problem at all. And there's a little napkin. Again, not a problem to use that. That's really sweet and it's really pretty. Love the colours. And this book came with it as well. Well, these are the bits I ordered. The other bits just came as extras. So this is an old Ladybird book. And it's even, I mean, I think these days they don't come with the wraparound cover. And you can tell how old it is. I mean, it doesn't have a date in it, but somewhere I saw there was an inscription. And it looks like it says 3 and 6. So £3 6 shillings, I think. Or was that 6p? £3 6p. Maybe that's more recent. I don't know. And it says, to Peter from Betty with love. Ah, but yeah, clearly vintage. But no idea what I'll do with it. But it's really nice to have something that you didn't expect. Oh, and this was also another extra. This was just popped in. I didn't order this. Isn't that lovely? Satin ribbon. That big. I'm wondering if that will go round my music journal. I might be able to use that as my closure for my music journal. We'll see. That would be really handy. So then these are the items that I actually ordered. These are things that she made. I thought I've never ordered anything that people have made before. I've just ordered things for me to make things. But I thought they're not things I would make myself, so that would have made sense. So this little pack, I had a quick glance, but I haven't looked at them that closely. These are paperclip embellishments, paperclip clusters. So they've got the paperclip there that you can put on your page, and they're just not something I've ever got into making myself. So I saw those and I thought, well, they'll be lovely and a bit different. And I do like her style. All the ribbon and the lace, I do love all that. So I thought I would enjoy them. And they're all so different. So there's this little one. Now let's just move the packet aside and then you can see them properly. So I've got that one. Got that one. Oh, I love that. Love the colours on that. These are gorgeous. I mean, I've watched her making these and I thought, well, I know I would get in a pickle making those. They're just too fiddly. So I thought, well, why not buy a few from her? And there's this really lovely one. Oh, is it upside down? Oh, it goes that way. Sorry, I had it upside down. And then there's this one, which has got the banners and the lovely flower and the pearl. Gorgeous. And then, whoops, get hold of it. And then there's this one. They're all really lovely. I do like her work. And then there's this one. And this big one, look at that big paper clip there. So there's that one. And you can kind of tuck things behind it. And this one. See, that one probably would go quite well in my spring journal, possibly. I'm sure at least one of these will find its way into my spring journal. So yeah, I love those. Oh, I missed one. That one as well, on the velvet. Gorgeous. Okay, so that's those. And then these are paper ruffles. So I make the fabric ruffles, but I don't generally make paper ones. So I thought, oh, I'll get a few of those. And again, they have got that distinctive Tina finish to them. They're just little ones, but they're gorgeous. They'll just go on the edge of a pocket, on the all sorts. There's so many ways you can use these. And they've all got that little bit of finish with a bit of lace, bows, bits of ribbon. Aren't they lovely? So I think she's used one of her, what do you call it, William Morris papers for this, because I think I've got this paper. I love it. Ooh, look, there's one with music on it. Oh, I have to trim that off a little bit. Just tidy that little bit of lace up. I might be able to do something with that and pop it in my music journal. There's a couple with music on, aren't there? Okay, so there's that one. This gorgeous pink one. Oh, upside down. You can tell by the bow. And, oh yeah, love that. And then this one. So yeah, they're really lovely. So I love all my things I bought from Tina. She does great work. I do love her things. I find her quite inspiring with all her love of colour, because that appeals to my love of colour as well. And I think I was suppressing it a bit, you know, because that wasn't necessarily the style that was popular. But oh, look at that! I think that's another one from the William Morris. But it's beginning to come out now in my spring journal and things. I'm using more and more colour. Right, so that's those. So that's my little haul from Shabby Dabby Doodah. And then today, is that the last? Yeah, one more thing to show you. So today, this morning, I went to the market again, where I got the lace a couple of weeks ago. And I went into, and they have fabric stalls at this market. So, and also I went around the charity shops. Normally, I mean, I go around the charity shops whenever I see one. I go in. Can I find anything with some nice thin lace? Because I have had lots of luck in the past, but I haven't bought anything for quite a while. Haven't found anything that's got the sort of fine lace that I'm looking for. And I keep looking, but today I was in luck. I went to 2 shops and I've found something in both of them. So I was very happy. I haven't done anything with them yet, but this is the first one. Whoops, oh gosh, knocked the camera, sorry. So this is a top, and this is the lace. And I thought, well, that will be nice and thin. This will be really lovely lace to use. So I'm really happy with that. I shall just cut it all apart. And that's a good one. And I think that one was, £4.50. So not the cheapest, about £4.50 for a big piece like this. I mean, this will last me ages. I think that's not bad. £4.50, is that right? No, this was £4. Sorry, I think there was another one I was looking at that was £4.50, but this is the £4 one. So there's that piece. And then I went to another shop and I found this. Hasn't even got the liner, it's just lace. And it's this kind of dusky blue. And I thought, well, maybe that would be quite a useful colour to go with things, especially as I was thinking of this. If I'm going to do something with this lace might go quite well. Not that I was thinking of that when I bought it. This was a £5, but it's got the kind of one type of lace at the top for the main body, and then this really pretty lace at the bottom with a little fringing. If you can see that. Isn't that lovely? And we've got the sleeves as well. So yeah, I thought that was quite a good buy. So again, I shall be cutting that up into pieces. So yeah, I've had a really good week with acquiring things and unexpectedly. But the other thing I've been doing, as you may be aware, my daughter is having a little boy in September. So of course I'm thinking journal. I might make a little journal, especially as I've been making one for Alyssa. I mean, I did a little record, I suppose, of my visits during the first year that she was around, up until her first birthday, which I'm now transferring into more of a proper journal. And I'm still working on it. But I thought, well, I will perhaps make a journal that I can then record our visits in. So it'll be kind of empty of pockets and things, because I don't know how I'm going to use it. But I thought I'd at least make something. So I may have bought enough to make 2 or 3 journals in the way of digital kits. And today I was buying fabric for the cover. And I've already ordered some from Etsy as well. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I just can't help myself. Keep seeing things. So, because I didn't really want, and I didn't think my daughter would want me to go kind of over the top blue, just blue wall-to-wall. So the journal kits have only got, I've got a mixture of colours in. And I was thinking for the cover, I'm not sure yet, I'm thinking I might use this. I wanted to go animals, really, jungle animals, and these are kind of bit cartoony. So I haven't fully decided if this is going to be too bright for the cover, but I thought it was really, really good fun. So I've got a couple on their way which have also got animals on, but they've got a white background. So they might be better on the inside maybe. I just thought it'd be quite nice to have these bright colours on the cover. So that's a possibility. Then I also found this really sweet fabric, which I really like. But it's very thin. It's a very, that's double. It's a very thin, it's practically see-through. So even though I would like to use it perhaps on the inside, I don't think it's thick enough. I don't know, but it's so pretty and I do love it. So I thought, well, I might use it somehow inside the journal. I want to do blue accents rather than lots and lots of, hit you in the face with the blue. But I do want some blue, so I'll be using some bits of blue fabric and blue kind of embellishments, I suppose. But it will be more. No, I don't want to say neutral because I don't want to go over neutral. That just gets a bit boring, but not overly blue. And then I bought this as well because I thought that would be a really nice. I had to buy everything by the ½ metre, so I've got far more than I need. This would be nice as the inside of the journal, and it would be nice. I mean, the thing is with this, it can be used for anything really. It's a very useful kind of fabric, so it would be useful for anything else, not just for a baby journal. So I thought, well, I'll get that. I couldn't help myself, and it's a nice quality fabric, this one, cotton. So yeah, that's my haul. And if I get the other fabrics before I upload this video, I will show them to you at the end of the. I shall add that on and just show you them if they come in the next couple of days. So that's what I've been buying like a mad fool. So I thought today what we could do. I'm going to put some of these things away, and we'll make a couple of bits with the scrapbook paper and maybe use some of the other bits for embellishments. So I'll be right back when I've just cleared myself a bit of space. All right, so this is what I thought we'd actually have a go at making today. I love watching people doing one sheet wonder videos and taking one sheet of scrapbook paper and making them into some sort of folio thing. And I'm sure that every version of a folio from one sheet of paper has been done before. And I've got quite a few of them on my saved list on my YouTube saved list. But I thought I'll try and come up with one myself without actually. I mean, I've seen so many. I've obviously got their ideas, and I just thought I'd play with a piece of scrapbook paper, and see if I could make something that I liked. I think there's so many different ways of doing this. So my first version of it is kind of this messy thing. But it gives me the sort of template, and I'm, as I say, I'm sure that there's been many versions very similar to this, if not exactly the same, that's been made before. So I'm not, this is nothing new. It's just I wanted to try and figure it out for myself and not just do it following somebody else's tutorial. So this is the bit of paper I've ended up with. But from that, and all these odd bits that I've cut off, I mean, it wasn't measured or anything. I just folded and messed about. So I've ended up with this. This is a piece of Tim Holtz from the Etc. Book. So it just opens up like that. So I've got a little pocket here. And then I've got a side tuck here and a pocket here. And then it folds here. There's a pocket here. And there's a pocket here. I'm sure you could do... And then it just keeps going. You just keep going around. So... yeah, so there's that one, open it that way, and you've got that one, another side pocket here. So yeah, so it's lots of things you can absolutely stuff this, and I thought it'd be quite nice to do something like this. That I might make one to go in my spring journal, but it's quite nice to have this kind of thing in your stash, and then you can just, fill it with the ephemera that go with whatever kit you're using. I quite like this, because it's neat, and it's not... At this stage, it's not overly bulky. You can soon bulk it up. You can decorate it however you like. I just thought it would be a fun thing to have. I like making these sort of things. It's one of the things I most enjoyed about when I first started watching YouTube videos for junk journaling. It was people making things like this, just because they're so much fun to do. So let's make one. Or two. I might make more than one. Although I have got something else I'd like to make. I don't have enough time today. We'll see. I won't probably do... I don't know if I'll do any decorating. I might do. So I've got all my little bits and pieces around me now. So let's choose a piece from this pad. So that's... both of those are really lovely, aren't they? I quite like that. So that's definitely an option. That's quite nice, a bit neutral. Oh, there's this one again. And there's this one, I love that. The background's very blue. Butterflies, no, I don't really feel the butterflies today. Is that one? How many of these? I feel like I've only seen one of these. I do like this, but have I got more than one? I feel like the pattern's repeated. Perhaps it's at the back. Oh, it is. There's another one at the back. Phew! I was a bit worried I only had one there. But I don't think I'm going to use that one today. I think the one that took my eye as I was going through... Where's it gone now? Wasn't even the one I was thinking of using. I think I fancy using this one. Because it's got that on the other side, so it's got a bit of interest. This is really quite thick paper too. Thicker than I expected. I mean, it was £4 this pad. I mean, it's a crazy price for lovely quality paper that's double-sided. That's quite a good deal, I think. That's from the works. So that's my paper. I really like that. And I think if I can, I've got some Stamperia paper out there. I'd like to make one with that as well, because that might be more in keeping with the spring journal. Although this might as well. I might be able to make this work for spring. So we'll see. So I'm going to just score it, just because that makes the folding so much easier, especially with quite a thick piece like this. Now, this one isn't particularly directional, so I don't think it matters which way I score it or which way I put it in, which is quite handy. It does make life a lot easier. Here's my little tool. So it's the simplest scoring, and it's like where almost all of these things start with the same scoring, really. So it's 6 inches, and you turn it, and at 4 and 8, so just into thirds, and then you get quite a nice 6x4 little piece, which is perfect to go into a journal. Just pop it into a pocket if you don't overstuff it, but then I think sometimes these sort of things go quite well on the front or back pockets, don't they, where you might have just a little bit more room. Okay, so I'm going to fold it that way, and I'm going to use my bone folder because this is quite thick paper, so it needs to be really well burnished, and then the other way. So the first fold goes in, and then the second fold goes back on itself. There's a kind of concertina-y sort of effect. Okay, so then so you end up with something like that. But what we're going to do is do a bit of cutting. So I'm just going to fold that like that for a minute now. Just got to remember which is the one that was going back on itself. So it goes like that, doesn't it? Yeah. So this is the one we cut out. Just checking with my prototype. At least my first one. Yeah. Okay. So we take out this panel first. Fine cut. In fact, what I did to help myself, I folded it back and I inked along the join because it's so much easier to cut if you can see where the fold mark is. So and I quite like having the inked effect along the joins anyway. And we'll do the same on the other side. Except it's going to be hang on, it's going to go back like that. Yes. So I'm just figuring out which way I need to do the inking. I don't know if this is necessary on all the folds, but I'm going to do it anyway. Some of these bits won't be visible anyway, but I just think it helps to see where you're cutting. Helps me anyway. Okay, right, now I can see what I'm going to cut. I'm cutting right along the join. We can always trim it a bit if the folds are a bit. I haven't made this enough to know whether I need to trim it in a little bit. So, okay. It's got a little tufty bit there. Right, I'm going to do the same here. I say there are so many different ways we could do this. I might do this slightly different to the way I did the last one, just to try out something different. And then this piece, this middle piece, I'm going to fold in half. And I'm going to cut it. Okay, let's see if I can do it without inking it. Right, so we keep that piece, and we keep that piece because we're going to use them. So now we've got that folds up. So I might need to just trim that because you can see the fold there. That folds in. This folds back, this folds up, and there you have your little booklet. Now we've got a little bit sticking out here. Not quite sure why. That often seems to happen with some of these things. They never quite line up the way you think they're going to. I might have to just trim a little bit. Maybe I'll just trim the whole of that edge, just a touch, just to make it line up. That's it. Hopefully that's enough. Okay. So what I thought, what we do, let me just, that goes like that. That goes like that. And then we're going to make, this is going to be a pocket. Let me check. Hang on, got this upside down. So we've got that, like that. That opens out like that. Now on this one, I made this into a little pocket. and then use the other piece and cut it across to make a couple of corner pockets, which is still an option, and I like how they turned out. But the other option I thought you could do, don't know if it goes, yeah, joined like that, was to washi tape it on there and have it opening out like so, and then you could have something hidden in the middle here. So maybe I'll do that on this one. Okay. Just want to take off that bit where it's been folded. And the fold. I think that's okay. Just checking, I couldn't see the fold. You can see it on the inside. Yeah, I think it just needs a little trim. Just a tiny bit along the edge here. Oops, that wasn't tiny. Right, so we can do a little bit. I'm going to do the same along here. Just trim that off a little, that side. Okay. These things are never perfect, are they? I've done that. I need to take a little bit off this side. So we could have that and that. They can open out, and this closes like that. This goes back. And this needs trimming a little bit because it's catching. So all these things you'll learn as you go along. Just trim it on the inside of the fold. And I want this one. No, that one needs to have that's a pocket. So I'm going to put my divot on this one. So that goes back like that. So that needs to have a little punch out of here. Goes there, and then we've got that needs to be glued there, so there and there. So yeah, that's like that. So I'm just figuring it out. That goes like that. That opens that way, opens that way, and then it'll open that way. So not quite sure why it's not that's different and that's the same. How did that happen? Or maybe I folded it the other way. Perhaps that's what I did. Put the pretty side on the inside. That would make sense. So put that like that. Then did it like that. That makes more sense, doesn't it? And now I've lost my divot. There it is. I may have put it on the wrong side, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, that makes more sense then, that it goes like that and like that. Then you've got all the pretty papers on the outside. Okay, let's do some gluing. And the other thing, I've got this piece and I've got to attach this piece. So this piece I'm going to cut down the middle. Because that will be, let's see, has it got, I'm going to cut that little, the bit where you can see the fold, just off the side and off this piece. And then I'll cut this into, it's going to be 4 inches, so I'll cut it at 2. And then we'll have, except it's ended up being different size. Don't know why, I think it's probably because I trimmed a bit. So it wasn't exactly 2. Doesn't matter. I will do a little thumb hole. Can I do the 2 together? Who knows? Give it a try. Yep. So one will go here. One will go on the other side. So let's just ink it up a little. Can finish the inking afterwards on everything else. So I'll glue that in. Okay, then we have a little side tuck, and then this piece, let's just open that out. So I want to attach this one. So, yep. And then we'll just do a little tab, and they can open out, and we can have something hiding inside. So what shall I use? Whoops. For washi. Pulled a couple out that might work. I don't have anything really the right colour. I've got this really pretty one. I think it's, well, I think that's just one a set I bought a while ago. I think that would look quite nice there. So I'm going to use a bit of that. Cut a piece off. And I'm going to put a bit of extra glue on it. Trim it before I glue it and stick it on. I think I'm going to put a bit of extra glue on the other half just to make sure. Nope. Turn it around. I can see where the join is. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. And I think we're going to put another piece inside. This one work inside, or shall I just stick with the same one? quite nice inside, but I think I'll stick with the same one because it's so pretty. This is... Might just put the glue on the paper. A bit easier than trying to glue the tape. Lovely. Okay, so we have our flap. Now we need our little tab here, don't we? I don't know if I've got one that's the right colour already cut. My hopes are not high, but you never know. Just wondering whether to... Oh, it's not completely lined up, is it there? Haven't seen that. Oh, it's a bit late now. We have to just trim a little bit. These are all things that I'm kind of learning as I go along. Check these lined up before you stick the washi tape on. Okay, that's kind of, oh, it's almost lined up at the front. That side's lined up, and I just need to trim the other side at the bottom to make sure that's lined up. That's better. I'm tempted to round the corners of this, but I don't know if that would work. They need to line up, don't they? So that probably isn't a good idea. Now I could use a piece of fabric as my tab. That might be an option, but for the moment I think I'm hoping to find a piece of... or not a piece, a little tab that might work. That might be, for some reason that's paper. I don't really like paper tabs. I want them to be cardstock, so they're not so flimsy. Well, I like that. That goes. Job done. Let's just do a bit of, just ink it up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to try and find my bone folder because it needs a proper burnish. It's better. And inking. Okay. Just get it lined up. Have it in the corner. There we are. Now is that going to hold it? Not really holding it very well. Don't know whether just burnishing it down a bit more would make any difference. otherwise you may have to find something to hold this. Something either side, but it's not really wide enough. So it's sitting more or less flat, and I think perhaps once you've got things in it elsewhere and it's all held together, it'll be fine. Okay, now we need to glue this one. So it's going to be glued along here and here. Let's just check that's, yeah, I think that's fine. So I'm just going to ink this in this pocket here, this piece. And no, I can ink everything else after. Okay, so I've gone ahead and glued this pocket, so that's now glued around the top and inside, so it's glued here and here, and then so and we've just still got the side tuck left to find a place for. So I did find, because I tried folding it in, and I had to trim these two pieces down just a little bit more because it was catching. So that's worth bearing in mind, that these pieces need to be a little bit narrower both ways, and make sure they line up. So that goes like that. That goes like that. Turn it over. Opens up. There's the pocket. And so we've got a couple of options. So we could put this piece here across the back, or we could put it here. And then you open it up, and there's a bit more to find when you go like that. I can't quite decide whether I want it there, there, or there, because it looks a bit bare here. So I think I might put it on the back here. Yeah. I think on reflection I prefer the way I use the spare pieces on the other one, just because then you've got a little bit on every side in a way, somewhere to tuck things in, rather than the flip up thing. But it was worth a try, and there's still options of what you could put inside. So I'm just going to glue that on. And you can use more pieces from the pad to make more pockets. I mean, this is just trying to use one single piece of scrapbook paper just to see how far it will stretch. But if you had a second piece, or even some scraps, you could make more pockets. And you could make journal cards to go in them as well. Right, so that's that piece. Seem to have got a little tufty bit on the corner here. And thinking I might round, no, it's upside down, to round this corner. So you do get the corners sticking out, but I've tried rounding those, that doesn't work. But at least it shows that's the front then. And you could do the same here. That might work. Let's see if we can round this bit as well. Oops. Then it's a case of decorating it however you like. Okay. try and find a way to keep that closed. But I could put an eyelet here and wrap it around. There's any number of ways of closing this. I might put some lace on it, because I did wonder if that lace I got from the charity shop, the blue, if that would go on here. I'm not sure it does. I'll just cut off an arm, as you do, just to see. That might work, but I think I need more, some white I think would look better on here, to be honest. Right, so that clearly needs some finishing off. It needs some inking, it needs some decorating. So what I thought was, I think I'm running out of time really in this video. So I thought I might come back and do a part 2 and make another one of these with some of my Stamperia paper that I've picked out, and maybe something, another little pocket thing that I've had in my stash. I was having a look through. I have this little piece, and I've got different versions of it, and I can't remember where I saw it. I've seen it made a couple of times, and it's just a nice little thing you can pop in, but you open it up. You've probably seen this, and it opens like that, so it doesn't open all the way, so it's got a fold here, and then you've got a pocket here, and I've just put an envelope in there. You've got a couple of pockets here and a little pad. So I can't remember who did this. That's coming apart by the looks of it, so it needs re-gluing. But yeah, I thought I might make one or two of those as well. What am I thinking? Might make one of those as well, just for the sake of it. Yeah, so I think I might come, because I'm not done with doing all of this yet. I'm having too much fun. So we'll come back. I'll do another part to this. Not sure when. Might be tomorrow, might be in a couple of days, see how I get on. And then we'll revert to our normal routine. I just thought I fancy doing something different today. So thank you for joining me, and do join me again soon. Bye for now.